Welcome to Unleashing Happiness. I am your host, Cecilia Hendricks, and I am so excited that you're here. We are still going through our kickoff series down to summer. I really love the changing of seasons. So I'm super excited to have the spring season coming in. And then, of course, I love looking ahead to the summer. I just get really, I don't know, it's like this time of change and growth and the ability to start to recognize different things, right? Like I love different parts of every single season. And so I love when it's coming into that new season because I just feel like I can experience it all over again and start to pay attention to maybe some of the things that I've forgotten to be paying attention to. And part of that is making sure that we are aligned to the ideal self that we want to be, that we are becoming truly the version of ourselves that feels really good, it feels empowered, loves ourselves, is competent, and is truly spending life doing things that we actually enjoy. And I want to caveat this really quick to say that it's okay to love yourself now. So even if you're like, man, I really want to see some changes in this area of life, that doesn't mean that everything about your life now is wrong or bad or that you need to put it down. Any spot that you're in now is the right spot. We are all perfectly where we're supposed to be based on the state that we're currently dwelling in. And you can select to move into a new state and you can keep other parts of you. You can keep the parts that you really love and that you cherish and that you really enjoy while growing in some other areas of life. I think this is just human nature. So the purpose of this podcast series is to give you kind of steps to build into this person that you want to be. Areas of life that you can look at and say, yes, this is somewhere that I really would like to work on so that I can just feel better. I can spend my days doing things more that I enjoy and I can like truly create a life that I love. And before I jump into that, I do have a super fun announcement. I am going to be speaking live at the Disrupt HR in Colorado Springs on April 30th. I'm really looking forward to it. My speech is called Before You Rage, Send. So the talk is going to be very specifically focused on emotional regulation in the workplace. So you can learn from my mistakes and you can hear my story about rage sending, which should be quite fun and humorous. Hopefully people definitely laugh, or it's going to get a little awkward for me, but I think that they will. The people I've been practicing my speech with have given me some chuckles, so I'm pretty excited about that one. And this is going to be my first time speaking publicly in this type of forum. So I'm super excited. I tend to think that my personality kind of shines a little bit more when you are in person. So I'm trying to share more of that through my podcast and my content so people can kind of get to know all sides of me. I can be very spiritual and down to earth, but I can also be quite sassy. I have a really sarcastic sense of humor, and I can be actually quite goofy, which sometimes I make myself just roll my own eyes, actually. But so I think it'll be fun to speak at this conference. If you are interested, you can certainly buy tickets and come see me live. There's some other really remarkable speakers that are going to be there. It should be super fun. This is kind of a sassy, disrupt the field kind of conference. So it should be a lot of fun. It's on April 30th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. I do not know what order we are going in, but hopefully if you're going to attend, shoot me a note at unleashinghappiness@ceciliahendricks.com. I would love to know that you're there, and I would love to be able to meet you in person if you decide to come down and check it out. So as we jump in though to our podcast topic today, I want to talk about your morning and evening routines, but not the kind of same ones that we've been hearing online, right? I want to talk specifically about reviewing your day and also intention setting. So we're going to bring a little bit of magic into your morning and evening routines. Now, the first thing that I want you to do is, if you're able, so not driving, I want you to pause this episode and take out a sheet of paper or do something on your phone, whatever you feel more comfortable with, but write out currently what your morning routine looks like. So even if you're just doing like kind of the first hour, the first 2 hours, depending on how your morning's looking like, but just jot it out very quickly. What does that routine look like? Then do the same for your evening routine. Now from there, do a quick little note on what is a normal, yes, this is kind of what I do every morning, or maybe I'm only doing this every now and then. Like maybe you're looking back on this morning and you kind of had a funky morning and you didn't get a lot done. Or usually you are scrolling on your phone, but today you jumped up and you were meeting a friend for a hike. So I want you to take a look at what your average routines look like. What are you doing on a day-to-day basis? And this is nothing to shame. This is not to feel bad about. You may have a phenomenal morning routine. You may have an outstanding evening routine, but we're going to start adding a little bit of magic to it so that you can start creating a life that you truly love and really focus on the areas that you want to improve and make sure that you're setting yourself up first thing in the morning, right? Set the tone for the day. And then last thing before you go to bed, because you want to have in your mind what you're going to bring into your subconscious while you sleep. And so this is what we're doing. We're going to set that up. Now, the next part of this exercise is I want you to think about what are some of the first thoughts you have when you wake up in the morning. So if you are not sure, if you're like, actually, now that I think about it, I have really no idea what I'm thinking about first thing in the morning. I want you to spend the next couple days just paying attention. I have recently caught myself having a completely destructive thought first thing in the morning. And I'm like, where is this coming from? What am I focusing on that's bringing this up for me? Because we have to remember our subconscious does not know what we want from what we're trying to avoid. It only knows what we're thinking about. And so the things that you continue to return to, that you're thinking about, that you're speaking to yourself, that you're focusing on, that you're giving life to, is what you're going to experience. And by owning your morning, by setting up your morning, by actually paying attention to what you're doing, having a morning mantra, make sure that you're taking care of yourself. You are owning your day, starting with your morning, and it will set the tone for the absolute rest of your day. And then with your evening, you are bringing into your subconscious what you want it to sit and kind of doodle on as you're sleeping. So if you're going to bed with all these thoughts of how everything is like really messed up and nothing ever works out for you and you're so frustrated and everybody hates you and your job is spiraling and you can't do anything right and blah, 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 that's what you're bringing into your subconscious. That's what you're telling yourself as you drift off to sleep. Here's what I want to pay attention to. Here's what I want to focus on. Here's the things that I want to have come more into my life. And so we're just going to focus on these two parts of the day for this next week as you're working through getting ready for summer and doing this like true countdown to becoming the person you want to be. I just want you to lean into understanding currently your behaviors, what your thoughts are, what you're waking up to, what you're going to bed to, because you can only change something once you're aware of it. Now, if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you'll know that I talk a lot about Neville Goddard, and Neville Goddard speaks a ton about self-observation. Neville himself says, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and observe the route that your attention follows. Because as you are stepping into this version of yourself, you have to start observing where you're placing your attention. Your attention is your gold, right? The same way that your words are your gold. These are going to set up the life that you want to have. So one of your other steps here is to take a look at your current morning and evening routine and make a decision. Is this actually something that aligns with kind of the life I want to lead? Are there areas that are not really connecting, that I'm not getting the things that I want? And where is it within this like morning and evening routine that I could possibly make some changes in order to grow and expand and change what I'm focusing on? And I'm going to give you some ideas to start building into both of these. And we're going to start with your evening routine, because I firmly believe, even though everybody focuses on the morning, you cannot have a solid morning unless you set yourself up the night before, right? Like you have to have a good evening to wake up with a good thought in the morning, and you have to prepare yourself for that. So even though this is not going to be the topic for today, I want you to make sure that your environment is aligned to the type of morning that you want to have. So like something that I harp on, you guys are probably all, if you have returned here and you've heard my podcast before, you're probably going to roll your eyes. Like, how many times do you have to tell us to stay off our phone in the morning? But it's so, so important. So again, if you are somebody who gets up and is automatically on your phone, I highly, 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 please listen, highly recommend that you figure out a way to spend at least an hour off of your phone in the morning. You will be amazed as you build this habit on the productivity that you have, how much more energy that you have, just overall how much better and more focused you feel when you give yourself that time of non-phone, non-screen time in the morning. Okay, so there's my soapbox. I'm going to go ahead and jump off of it now. But what I want you to look at in your environment is, am I prepared to not be on my phone in the morning? If this is a habit that I have, am I even in a position to remember in the morning that I don't want to do that? So something that I will do is either remove your phone, go put it somewhere else so that when you go to reach for it, it's not there, or put a sticky note on it. And what I love to do, especially lately, is I'll write whatever mantra I want to remind myself in the morning on that sticky note. And then that way, if I go to grab my phone, I've got it and I'm like, oh yes, I wanted to tell myself that today I am going to seek all the wonderful things that are happening to me. Today, I'm going to pay attention to every single time I am shown love. And we're going to talk about this a little bit more in the morning routine. I don't want to get off track. But so when you set up your environment, you clean off your nightstand, you have a glass of water there, you have a sticky note on your phone. If you want to do some sort of workout or go outside, you have an outfit set up and ready. I want you to make sure that you spend like 5 minutes tonight just making sure that your environment is ready for you to wake up, put your feet down, and take over the world tomorrow. So now the next thing that I want you to do in your evening routine is I want you to get yourself a journal. I really recommend that it's handwritten, not using it in your phone. There's actually been studies that have shown that by using your actual physical writing, it kind of lights up a different area in your brain. And I just believe it connects with us more. There's a little bit more magic to it. And truly, this morning and evening routine, it's about bringing magic back into our life. I am 44 years old. I still firmly believe in magic. There is no way that the world operates the way that it works, and there's not magic involved. There's no way that things grow in the way that they grow, and we see the same type of repeating patterns all throughout nature, and our seasons change, and like literally there is a ball of fire that sits in the sky and we rotate perfectly around it to sustain our life. You cannot tell me there's not magic in the world. You just can't. So we are bringing that magic back into our lives here. If I am 44 years old and I can come on a public podcast where anybody can hear me, people who know me in real life, and talk about how I believe in magic, you can add some privately to your own day. And a little spoiler alert, you're going to be so freaking happy that you did. We should all be recognizing the true magic in our days, right? Even when things are not going well, even when you know that you're in a position that you have to get something to change, right? Like your soul in your gut is just speaking to you like, this is not where you need to be. You deserve more than this. You can still find magic in the day, even on those days that it's overwhelming. I promise you, in the small things, you can find it. And I certainly hope that you give yourself that opportunity and the gift to at least look for some of the magic. But so anyways, I want you to get a journal that you can write in, and I want you to do 3 things. The first one is I want you to set a timer for about 3 minutes, and I want you to write out anything you did that day that you appreciate about yourself. So if you held the door open for somebody, I want you to write that down. If you donated money to a, cat shelter, I want you to write that down. If you complimented a woman at the gym on her outfit, I want you to write that down. Anything, right? If you called your mother, if you sent a friend a nice text, if you shared to your story a meme that made you laugh, or like a reel that made you laugh because you want other people to see it and laugh, I want you to write that down. If you played a game with your kids, or you listened to their joke, or you asked your husband about their day, and so you find yourself as a thoughtful and caring person, I want you to write that down. Even if it starts with the smallest of things, right? If you're struggling right now and you're like, I have no idea what to write that I appreciate that I did for myself or for other people today, ask yourself, did I brush my teeth? Did I get up? Did I do something to support kind of my personal growth, even on the smallest of scales? Honestly, you're listening to this podcast, put that on that list, because listening to this tells me that you are seeking ways to improve your life. that you are showing up for yourself, that you love yourself, and that you know that that spark is there. You're just kind of working to find it again. You're kind of working to figure out where that spark is, and you should give yourself a big ol' hug for that. And damn it, it should go on your list. Another way to look at this appreciation list is by looking at it as like a contribution list, like things that you appreciated that you did, not only for others, but to yourself. How did you contribute to the lives of others? How did you contribute to your own personal life? Right? What are the ways that you showed up? What are the kind things that you did? What were the ways that you showed love? So I like to call it an appreciation list, but I also have some clients who talk about it like it's a contribution list. They're like, oh, I like talking about how I contributed to the world, because the more good you put out, trust me, the world needs it, right? We need all this good energy. You can call it good vibes. You can call it positive vibes. You can call it good energy, prayers, all of it, right? We need it. And so the more that you do this and you're giving it out to the world, you're contributing to that. And there's something really special and wonderful in that. So the second part is I want you to pick an emotion that you would like to see more in your life. So let's say that you are trying to manifest a specific person or a relationship. And so you're seeking love, or you're seeking desire, or you're seeking contentment, something, right? You're looking for that kind of feeling. I want you to go back over your day, and this will get easier the more that you do it, because you're going to train yourself in this is to start looking for it during the day. But I want you to go back and identify 3 times during the day that you saw that emotion. Now, it's really great if you can say, I saw this reflected to me. So let's say somebody told you, wow, your outfit looks really nice today. That's love, right? If somebody held the door open for you and you had to kind of quickly run through it, but they kept holding it for you. Like, have you ever been in that spot where you're like, oh, I don't know if I should sprint, but they're still holding the door for you. And that is very kind and nice. And that is love. Like, that's showing you care. So write that down. If your daughter came into your bed this morning to tell you that she loves you, that is love, right? If your mom called you because she wanted to tell you about something she read on the news, that is love. She's reaching out. She wants to share with you. So you can write those things down. Now, what you can also do is write down things that you saw in other people. If you saw this adorable couple walking through the park, holding hands and feeding the pigeons, write that down. That's the type of love you're looking for. Whenever things come into your awareness, especially things that you're seeking in your own life, it's like a little nudge to you, a little wink, like, hey, here it is. This is available to you. If it comes into your awareness, it is available. It is there for you. There is true abundance all around us. We just need to pay attention to it. And this is going to start teaching you pay attention to it. Because if you're telling yourself, I have to go back over the day and think of areas that I saw love, either I felt it or I saw it with other people. Well, then what starts to happen is the next day your mind says, oh, wait. You told me last night that we were looking for love. So now I'm going to pay attention a little bit more to it. Where am I seeing love? And the more you start to shift your mind to finding that emotion in your day-to-day, in your regular life, the more that it's going to actually start appearing for you. I promise you, just work on it, try it. Now, the last one that you're going to do is I want you to write down 3 intentions that you have for tomorrow. Now, I want these to be aligned to personal goals that you have, and your intention should be a way that you are going to show up to embody that type of person. And that's it. You're just going to write down 3 ways, right? If you have more, that's fantastic. I'm not telling you can only do 3, but I definitely want 3. So let's say that you want to become the healthiest version of yourself. I want you to write down the intention that after lunch, you're going to take a 20-minute walk. Or if you're going to be the healthiest version of yourself, that you're going to say, in the morning, I'm going to meal prep my lunch. Like, it's something that you're setting up an intention of what you're going to do the next day. Now, this is what you do before you go to bed, right? There's tons of other stuff that you can add, but we're slowly shifting ourselves. I'll do other content where you're like, well, now she's got all kinds of more stuff in the evening, but it's because you build on it. This is really when you're getting started and you know that you need to change something. You know that you are not really aligned and you're continuing in this cycle that's just not working for you. This is where you should start. Now we're going to connect to our morning, right? So now you're going to wake up and you've got to sticky note with your morning mantra. That's going to be the first bit of magic I want you to add to your day, is start deciding on something you're going to repeat to yourself in the morning. So start trying to catch yourself as soon after you start to flutter awake as possible. Take a couple very deep cleansing breaths. Keep your eyes closed and then tell yourself something. So I love to do ones like either every day in every single way. Everything just keeps getting better and better, and I'm going to see that today. I'm going to see how that's playing out in my life. Or if I'm looking for love, I will say, I am going to pay attention to all ways that I am shown love today. And guess what? Those days, I see so much of it because I'm looking for it, right? We're really wanting to train ourselves to start looking for this good. Another one that I really love is that today is going to be the best day ever. I just don't know why yet, and I can't wait to find out. It's so exciting, and it kind of creates this excitement and fun about holy cow, today is the best day ever. I just don't know how it's going to be that way. I can't wait until I figure that part out. It's going to be so exciting. So those are things that are super fun to do. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to grab that journal that you wrote in last night, and I want you to read over the stuff that you talked about. So you're going to read over the way that you have your appreciation or your contribution list. You're going to read over the way that you saw yesterday, the type of emotions you're looking to build in your life, that you're looking to make manifest in your life, right? And then you're going to review your intentions. And I want you to sit with your intentions and say, this is my intention to embody the person that I want to be. I am showing up for myself today. I am able to become the person that I want to be. I have faith in myself and I have faith in my focus. And then that's it. You go on to your day. And I promise you, you start building these into your life, you are going to see remarkable, amazing, just outstanding freaking changes. And I cannot wait to hear all about it. I also have a guide that is aligning to your ideal self. It's a completely free guide that kind of goes along with this topic, certainly, helps you kind of outline what it is that you want and how to make sure that you align to that person. I'll leave the link down for that below. So if you want to combine this stuff with that guide, it'll be available to you. Let me know if you have any issues with it or any questions. If you're listening on YouTube, please like the video, leave a comment, let me see some love to know that this really resonated with you. I really like to get feedback on the topics. So far, I've gotten really positive feedback. I've heard some other things where it's hey, it'd be nice if you worked on this or if you did this. And I'm totally open to that, right? I want to make sure that my content is meeting you where you need to be met, that it's helping you, and that you feel like you're getting the actions and not just a lecture, right? I'm not here to just lecture you on the information. We are in the, information overload. And I love information. Don't get me wrong. I read all the time. I listen to podcasts. I love getting the information, but I also like to have the actionable steps with it. And so that's what I'm really trying to give you here. And if you're listening on a podcast, I would really appreciate it if you left a review for the podcast. It helps me, it helps the algorithm, and it certainly helps other people find the content that I think would really benefit from it. So I hope that you have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rest of your week. I am so happy that you're here, especially if you've made it all the way to the end. And I wish you nothing but the very absolute best.